Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. Okay, I think I've probably entitled this one Flat Earth Solved, or maybe Flat Earth Riddle Solved. And that might be slightly misleading because this is not a solution to the shape or form of the flat Earth, but just how that it becomes completely obvious and the only possibility after working out the difference between our reality and the illusion that's been put upon us with the Newtonian worldview. One kind of way I thought of illustrating this is that let's say you have two jigsaws, yeah? So you've got a jigsaw, one jigsaw on one hand, which is you've got all these you've got Newton, Einstein and Copernicus and Kepler and all these kind of people that were well known, that we're all taught about. They're sitting around doing a jigsaw, and their jigsaw is a picture of you know, the sun, the solar system. Okay, that's the picture they've got, and they've got to use math to put these puzzle pieces together, based only slightly on observations, which these days with modern cameras people are finding out that the planets are not planets, yeah, they're just balls of light. And that's the thing, isn't it? You know, they had this perception after seeing things like Mars and Venus through telescopes. Now let's just for the sake of argument say that they were just mistaken. There's nothing deliberately conspiratorial about this, it's just that they were mistaken. Okay, they naturally thought that when they saw these things they looked like balls of matter, of earth, of solid. So of course they had to come up with a way of having these solid balls, and the idea that Earth was one of these solid balls spinning around the sun. So they basically started out on the wrong foot with the completely wrong concept in their heads as to what it actually is. So they go ahead, but they managed to put this picture together with math. So there we have the simple reason why the sun is 93 million miles away in the mathematical model. So you cannot argue this with a mathematician. When you start talking about angles and spheres and things like that, in the mathematician's mind, he is 100% correct. There is no way you can fault him, because of course he is referring to a universe or a solar system or a world that was created purely out of math, not based on any genuine observations. Okay, so in the world of this jigsaw puzzle that they've put together, it all comes together with the math. It's absolutely perfect. It's fine. Boom, there you go. Now on the other hand, you've got everyone else who is not a mathematician sitting around doing a different jigsaw puzzle, and this jigsaw puzzle is a landscape. It's waterfalls and mountains and what have you, you know, and they put the pieces together by just looking and feeling and seeing what actually fits based on reality. Okay, the reality that we experience. Okay, so there you go. We've got two completely different jigsaw puzzles. One of a solar system with the pieces connected with mathematical equations, and another one of a landscape put together using our eyes and our senses and just a kind of inherent knowledge of what the world around us is actually like. That's it. So coming to this realization, again, this is often the case with people who have been researching conspiracies for a long time and wondering what it's all about. What's the connection? Where is it? This is it. This is the connection. It's just this worldview that's been put into our heads and told is our reality. And it is a reality. It's a reality for a mathematician. And I suspect, in fact, that, you know, you've got these famous pictures of Newton holding up a prism. I suspect they worked it out. They knew about perspective, but then they worked out that that's how they can fool people, and that's why they've done the math to the T, as far as, you know, refraction and things like that go, so that you know, they obviously, I think he studied this area, worked out that there's a limit to the vision and the way that light can play with vision, and created the math that would make it impossible to work out when you actually look at something, and people argue about the horizons and things like that. You can argue until the cows come home with a globe head, because again, they're using math. If they're using math, the math fits perfectly. There is no question for them. We're just morons, idiots, because we can't see it and we're too dumb to understand the math. It goes round and round and round in circles, you know. So that's it. Once there's that full understanding that the globe, based on gravity, the god of gravity, again, so we're dealing with a religion, yeah, we are dealing with a religion, and we're all unwitting members of this religion if we believe in the globe, because it was the globes, the Earth, being considered another planet, which is obviously isn't true, is based on the religion, the philosophy, the religious philosophy that gravity created it all. Gravity is the god, gravity is the creator. Yeah, it's as simple as that. So again, this is why the debate comes down to the whole meaning of life. Anyway, understanding that, boom, everything falls into place, or even the prison walls in the mind fall away. Brum, they just come away. And with that realization that basically these puzzle pieces of these two puzzles have all been mixed up together, and that's what picking apart the globe and the flat earth thing is all about. It's actually working out which pieces go where, and then suddenly you have, right, all the pieces for the heliocentric solar system go over here, and all the other pieces for the landscape jigsaw go over here, and you've got two separate pictures. And of course what Einstein's job was to somehow link the two together, because they couldn't. They just couldn't link the imaginary mathematical solar system with reality. So along comes Einstein with E equals mc squared and all his relativity bullshit. So of course, what happens there is they've created a mathematical solution, a one God answer to the whole thing. Yeah. So guys, if you think you're an atheist and you believe in the whole Newtonian thing and the Big Bang and evolution, if that's your explanation and you think you're in a godless religion, you've got it completely wrong. Your God, if you're an atheist, is gravity. And it's the biggest religion in the Western world. There's nothing unique about you guys, you atheists. You're all on the wrong track. Yeah? Funny little story. Of course, I've been looking into the flat earth for a few months now, since first listening to, it was Matt Boylan, Eric DeBay, and then Mark Sargent, Flat Earth Clues, in that order, and then all the other guys. So since day one of coming across these videos, I probably watched all three in the first 24 hours and was a flat earther overnight, instinctively. But again, you know, then comes the sifting through the puzzle pieces. That's what's been going on in my head for the past few months, and just the other day it clicked. It just boom. It's a knowing. It's not a belief, it's not a faith, it's a knowing of how it's all come about. That's solving the flat earth riddle. making that distinction, severing that connection, an imaginary connection between the solar system and the Newtonian solar system and reality, basically. Yeah. So funny story. So kind of was talking to my wife about this. She's Thai. She was born in the country. First 10 years of her life, they didn't even have electricity. These guys rely on the moon, the stars, the sun, the whole calendar. Everything they do is based on a lunar calendar. Yeah. She, when I told her this whole thing, the whole connection or lack of connection between gravity and how we've all been had. I mean, it's not like I've not been talking about that kind of stuff for the last decade or so anyway, but, the final realization of the root of everything else, all the conspiracies, everything, it all centers around this control mechanism of telling you who your God is. It's gravity, yeah? And being so sure about it. So, I explained this and she laughed. She laughed. She said, "Have you only just got it?" Didn't. because to someone who has grown up outside of that Newtonian religion, atheistic influence, that's why they look at us Westerners as just nuts. We can't be told. We can't be told that we're wrong. We think we're so bloody right about everything. We know it. We've got science. And they look at us like we're nuts. And we are. So of course, she knows I've been trying to get into, I've been getting into studying Buddhism, and ever since being here, and trying to get enlightened. You only just got it. Brilliant. All along, it's just been. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm just. This is the final stage of breaking down the brainwashing, actually understanding what's gone on. Getting it out of my head. I was basically trying to tell her, right, okay, I'm kind of done with the flat earth now. I'm not, though. I'm desperate to tell people how to arrive at the solution. And it's funny because now I've completely lost interest in debating, anything to do with, the sizes, the angles, the horizons, the sunsets, and all that stuff. It doesn't bother me anymore. That's it. I'm done. All I'm ever going to say to anyone now is gravity is a fallacy. Work it out for yourself. Do your research. If they can't or won't go there, nothing I can do. There's, and of course it's funny because I've tried it a few times and you just get back these comments. You haven't answered my question. Yes, I have. I've answered your question because you're trying to imagine. You're trying to get. They cannot get the globe out of their head. Anything, any argument that comes up, in the globe head thinking is completely irrelevant. It's absolutely completely irrelevant. You can't argue with it because it's missing the point completely. Oh, it's been fun. Flat Earth has been fun, but now it's time to move on to being peaceful, yes, I think I kind of said it fairly early on, but didn't fully understand it. But yeah, flat Earth is a step. Solving the flat Earth riddle is a step to this opening the heart, opening the mind, and realizing and fully understanding and knowing, not just believing, but knowing that we can make the world a better place just by understanding how we've been, it is brainwashed. How our culture has set our minds so rigidly in this or these boxes, these squares, these mathematical formula. You know, that we've got to break free. We've got to, we've got to be flat earth monks. Help people break free. But there's also the realization that some people just aren't ready. If you're ready, if you're searching for the answers to life's most profound questions, then flat earth is for you. It's not a religion. It's not a cult. It's complete and utter understanding and knowledge that once you throw gravity out as it should be thrown out, well, of course, everything just becomes a natural state, and the natural state of things is to be layers of density. That's it. That's it. I have no more desire to find out whether there is an ice edge. This world, this planet plane is vast. Having flown over recently, flown over it recently. You can spend hours flying at 500 miles an hour, flying over mountains and desert and greenery, and that's uninhabited. That's the thing, they've got us locked in. They've got us locked in these cities, and the whole mechanism to keep our energy trapped in the cities, keep our money going around and around and around like that, because people can't imagine being out of the city when. That's the thing. We could spread out quite easily. We could just spread out and live off the land, live free, live without the controls, just live with respect for each other, just like other people do in third world countries. They're much more advanced than the West. The West has become stuck in this ridiculous, half the people going to work in London are going to work for to play around with numbers. It's all fictitious. They're getting up, they're getting stressed, they're packing them into trains, and they're going into the city, playing around with some numbers which don't exist. They're just imaginary numbers on a screen, and then going home, getting all stressed and da 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 da. It's completely false. The whole thing is false. And again, it's not like most of the people watching this know that and see that. We all see it for what it is. We all see it as a ridiculous control mechanism to keep us trapped. But how it came about, the whys and wherefores of it, that's what flat Earth does. Once you go through it and then arrive at this final conclusion that the whole gravity fallacy is what it is, a fallacy, then it all makes sense where it came from. Yeah. So there you go. The Earth is flat. I don't know the shape. The balls of light that we call planets, the wandering stars, they're just there doing their thing. There's nothing else. There is nothing else. It's black. Once you get beyond that layer, wherever the stars are, it's just black nothingness. That's it. That's what they've been hiding from us. That's what they've been telling us, It's all, again, we need to be looking at each other. We need to be looking at the ground at our feet. We need to be looking at just being human. Being human. Right here, right now. Because they're just going to carry on doing it. They're going to carry on telling us for the next several generations that we're going to Mars, we're going to Mars. There's nowhere else like it. There is nowhere else like this beautiful planet Earth. Nowhere else. It's perfect. It's perfect. We don't need to go anywhere else. To think that we do is a complete distraction from the here and now. Peace.